Yunja, you locked me inside a golden cage.
Call me a devil, baby girl. I don't care. That so-called nice man you trusted with your life couldn't protect you. He was the reason you needed saving. I may be your cage, but I'm the only one who'll never let them take you from me again. And when you finally remember everything, you'll understand why I had to lock you away.
It had been a few days since the incident. Yuna still remembered the moment she had witnessed the security guards being killed. But somehow, with each passing day, the memories seemed to fade further into the background. That morning, they left for their honeymoon. After hours of flying, they finally arrived at a peaceful hill station, surrounded by mist-covered mountains. At the very top of the hill stood a massive mansion, almost hidden among the fog. Yuna stared at it through the car window, slightly confused.
Is that the hotel we're staying at?
Yoon-jae glanced toward the mansion.
No, that's my property.
Yuna turned toward him in disbelief.
Your property?
She looked back at the enormous mansion.
It's huge.
A faint smile touched his lips.
All of this land belongs to me.
Yuna fell silent. She was slowly beginning to understand just how powerful Yoon-jae really was. His wealth, his influence, his assets. They were far beyond anything she had ever imagined. When they finally arrived, Yuna went straight to her room. The moment she stepped inside, she was drawn toward the enormous window. The entire valley stretched out before her, covered in soft, white fog. The mountains looked like something straight out of a movie. Yuna stood there silently, mesmerized. She had always dreamed of visiting a place like this, and somehow, Yoon-jae had brought her here. It felt as though he knew every little thing she liked. Lost in her thoughts, she suddenly felt his arms wrap around her from behind. His lips brushed softly against her cheek, then the side of her neck. His voice came quietly beside her ear.
Liked this place?
How do you know me so well?
Yoon-jae's gaze remained fixed on her. His voice was calm, almost unsettlingly certain.
Because I've known you for years.
Yuna's expression changed. There was something in his words that made her heart skip. Yoon-jae leaned slightly closer.
I know the part of you that even you can't remember.
Yuna turned fully toward him. Her fingers caught his collar, pulling him closer.
What do you know, Yoon-jae? Just tell me. Why can't I remember anything? How did my parents die? And Tae?
She stopped. The moment her eyes met his dark gaze, the question disappeared from her lips. She couldn't bring herself to say Tae-jin's name. Yoon-jae noticed. A slow, knowing smirk appeared on his face.
Tay, what, baby girl?
Yuna remained silent. Their faces were only inches apart, their eyes locked. His expression suddenly hardened.
You're not allowed to think about another man while I'm here, baby girl.
He leaned closer.
Especially not that man who could.
Could what, Yoon-jae?
He didn't answer. Instead, he lifted her effortlessly into his arms and carried her toward the bed. He gently placed her down, then hovered over her. His eyes held hers. There was something unreadable in his gaze, something that made her heart race.
You don't need to remember anyone. Just think about me.
Then he kissed her, softly, slowly. And for a moment, the questions disappeared. The fear disappeared. Everything disappeared, as the world outside vanished behind the fog-covered windows. She closed her eyes. For a moment, there was no mansion, no secrets, no forgotten memories. Only him. Yoonjia pulled back just enough to look into her eyes. His thumb brushed gently across her cheek. "Stop thinking." His voice was barely above a whisper. Before she could answer, he leaned down and kissed her again. Slower this time, lingering for a moment longer. Yuna's heartbeat quickened. She could feel the warmth of his breath against her lips as he paused between kisses, their foreheads almost touching.
Just stay here with me.
His lips met hers once more, tender and unhurried. And for those few seconds, Yuna let herself forget the questions, even though somewhere deep inside her, she knew Yoonjia was hiding something. That evening, while Yuna remained upstairs, Yoonjae descended into the hidden basement of the mansion. What looked like an ordinary luxury residence above ground concealed an entirely different world beneath it. The basement stretched into a massive underground warehouse filled with crates of illegal weapons and equipment. It was one of the most carefully guarded parts of his empire. And tonight, Yoonjae had come to meet someone he hadn't seen face to face in years. Ji-won, his trusted partner in the hill station, and the man responsible for overseeing this side of his illegal arms operation. Their business discussion continued for a long time, covering shipments, security, and the latest movements of their network. When everything was finally settled, Ji-won leaned back and studied him with a knowing smile.
Anyway, congratulations on the wedding.
Yoonjae raised an eyebrow.
You finally got her, after all these years of waiting.
Yoonjae said nothing. A faint smile appeared on his lips. Ji-won watched him for a moment before his expression became serious.
Did she remember?
Yoonjae's smile disappeared.
Not yet. And I don't want her to remember.
I figured. Does she know what actually happened to her?
No, I never let her find out.
Where is he now?
Yoonjae leaned back in his chair.
Somewhere under my control.
Ji-won studied his face before asking the question that had remained unanswered for years.
But why did you kill your own cousin, Yoonjae?
For a moment, Yoonjae's expression became completely emotionless.
Because he wanted to kill her. He knew I loved her. He wanted to take revenge on me by destroying the one person I could never afford to lose. So I made sure he never got another chance.
Ji-won remained silent. Two days had passed since they arrived at the hill station, and somehow, those 2 days felt completely different from anything Yuna had imagined. Yoonjia had taken her to places she had only ever seen in photographs. A quiet lakeside surrounded by mountains, a little cafe hidden between pine trees, and a viewpoint where the entire valley disappeared beneath a sea of clouds. Everywhere they went, Yuna discovered another side of him. One morning, they stopped at a small roadside cafe. Yuna was admiring the view when Yoonjia noticed her staring at a particular pastry behind the glass counter.
You want that?
Yuna immediately shook her head.
No, I was just looking.
He said nothing. A few minutes later, the pastry was placed in front of her. Yuna looked at him.
I said I didn't want it.
Yoonjia calmly took a sip of his coffee.
You were looking at it for 3 minutes.
You actually noticed that?
I notice everything about you.
She didn't know what to say. The same man who could make an entire room fall silent with one look remembered which dessert she had been staring at. Later that afternoon, they went for a walk through the pine forest. The path was slippery from the morning fog. Yuna nearly lost her balance. Before she could fall, Yoonjia caught her by the waist. His expression immediately changed.
Careful.
I'm fine.
He looked down at her shoes, then at the uneven path. Without saying another word, he held her hand firmly as they continued walking. For someone who was feared by so many people, he treated her as though she were made of glass. But that softness disappeared the moment someone crossed a line. That evening, one of the security men accidentally blocked their path while rushing toward Yoonji with an urgent message. The man began explaining himself nervously. Yoonji's expression changed. The warmth vanished from his eyes. His voice became cold.
How many times have I told you not to approach her without permission?
The security man lowered his head.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yoonji stared at him for a moment.
Make sure it doesn't happen again.
That was all. No shouting, no unnecessary anger. Yet the man's face went pale. Yuna watched silently. A few seconds later, Yoonji turned toward her and, just like that, the coldness disappeared. He gently adjusted her scarf.
You're cold.
Yuna stared at him. She couldn't understand it. How could the same man have two completely different faces? With others, he was ruthless, untouchable, intimidating. But with her, he lowered his voice, remembered the smallest things, held her hand while walking, made sure she ate, and looked at her as though protecting her was the most natural thing in the world. Perhaps that was the most frightening part. She was beginning to fall for the very man she should have been afraid of. That night, the mansion was unusually quiet. Fog had swallowed the hills, turning the world beyond the windows into a silver blur of shadows. Yuna stood by the glass, lost in thought, when she felt Yoonjae approach from behind. Usually, his presence made her tense. Usually, she would step away. But tonight, she didn't. Yoonjae stopped behind her, his eyes meeting hers through the reflection.
You're quiet tonight.
Yuna turned slowly. Their eyes locked. Neither spoke. He stepped closer and gently took her hand. She let him. No hesitation, no fear, no instinct to escape. His fingers traced the curve of her cheek, lingering there.
Thinking again?
Maybe.
He leaned toward her. She didn't move away. Their lips met, slowly, tenderly. The kiss carried everything they had refused to say, the fear, the longing, the confusion, and the strange pull neither could deny anymore. Yuna's fingers tightened around his shirt. Yoonjae paused, searching her eyes for permission. She answered by pulling him closer. The kiss deepened. His arms wrapped around her waist, holding her as though he had been waiting all this time for her to stop running from him. The cold fog pressed against the windows, but inside, everything felt impossibly warm. He lifted her gently and carried her toward the bedroom. Yuna's heart raced as he laid her softly on the bed. He leaned over her, his eyes never leaving hers. His lips brushed her forehead, then her cheek, then lingered at the curve of her neck, leaving soft, lingering kisses that made her close her eyes. She reached for him, drawing him closer. His fingers slowly slipped beneath the edge of her dress, easing the fabric from her shoulders with deliberate tenderness. There was no rush, only the quiet sound of their breathing and the rain beginning to whisper against the glass. Their bodies moved rhythmically, slowly at first, as their breathing grew heavier and more unsteady. His touch became more assured, while her fingers tightened around him, instinctively drawing him closer. Their breaths mingled in the quiet room, and this time, Yuna didn't stop herself. She didn't overthink it. She didn't question the feelings rushing through her. She simply surrendered to the warmth between them, allowing herself to experience the desire she had spent so long trying to suppress. For once, there was no fear, no resistance, only the overwhelming pull between two people who had finally stopped pretending they didn't want each other. Later that night, Yuna was deep asleep. The room was quiet, wrapped in the cold silence of the mountains. Then Yoonja's phone vibrated. He glanced at the screen.
Hello?
A tense voice came from the other end.
Sir, he's become violent again.
Yoonja's expression hardened instantly. He looked toward the bed. Yuna was still sleeping peacefully, completely unaware of what was happening beneath the mansion.
I'm coming.
He ended the call. Without making a sound, he took his overcoat and left the room. The mansion was silent as Yoonja walked through the dim corridor. He stopped before a seemingly ordinary door. A hidden security panel appeared beneath his touch. One lock, then another, then a third. Each mechanism clicked open. The final door revealed a passage leading deep beneath the mansion. After several security doors, Yoonja finally stepped into a completely different world. Unlike the cold, industrial warehouse surrounding it, this section had been designed as a fully furnished living space. A bedroom, a small kitchen, a bathroom, a television. Everything someone would need to live comfortably. Everything except freedom. A man stood near the window. His hair was disheveled, his eyes exhausted. He looked more like a prisoner who had forgotten what the outside world looked like than the dangerous man he had once been. The moment he saw Yoonja, he turned.
Please, let me go.
Yoonja stopped several feet away. Taejin's voice trembled.
Just once. I won't tell her anything. I won't go near her. I won't even meet her. I just want to see my mother.
Taejin, do you really think I'm going to let you go? You're lucky you're still alive.
Alive? Is this living? I haven't seen my family in years. I know what I did to her was wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed her. But I've accepted it. I won't see her. I won't tell her anything. Just let me see my family once.
Show him the CCTV footage.
The monitor on the wall flickered to life. Taejin immediately looked toward the screen. His family appeared on the footage, living their ordinary lives. His eyes softened.
I want to meet them.
Yoonja slowly turned his head. His dark, intimidating eyes met Taejin's. The words died in Taejin's throat. He knew that look. There was no negotiation left. Yoonja turned away.
Keep him here.
He walked toward the door. Behind him, Taejin remained frozen before the screen, watching his family from a distance he could never cross. The door closed, and the darkness swallowed him again. When Yoonja finally returned upstairs, the mansion was silent. He opened the bedroom door carefully. Yuna hadn't moved. She was still asleep. Her face was peaceful, completely unaware of the man who had just been kept hidden beneath the very floor she slept on. Yoonja stood beside the bed for a moment. Then he walked toward the small sitting area and poured himself a glass of whiskey. He sat in silence, staring into the amber liquid. His thoughts returned to Taejin, to the past, to everything Yuna still couldn't remember. Years ago, college. It was Yuna's first year of college. The university belonged to Yoonja's father, and Yoonja was already involved in its management, though few students knew his true identity. One morning, he arrived in his luxury car and noticed a girl entering the campus. Yuna. She wasn't trying to attract attention. She simply walked with a book against her chest, unaware of the man watching her. Yoonja couldn't explain why, but he found himself looking for her the next day, then the next. Soon, he noticed everything: the way she smiled, tucked her hair behind her ear, and reacted when she was excited. He began secretly photographing her from a distance. His curiosity slowly became an obsession. Wanting to get closer without revealing who he was, Yoonja enrolled as an ordinary student. But there was one problem. Yuna was always with a boy from her class, Taejin. At first, Yoonja told himself they were only friends, but every time he saw Yuna laugh with Taejin, jealousy burned inside him. Still, he waited. Then Valentine's Day came. For the first time, Yoonja decided to approach her. He bought flowers, a small gift, and rehearsed what he would say. But when he reached the garden, he stopped. Taejin was already there, holding flowers and proposing to Yuna. Yoonja watched silently from a distance. The smile disappeared from his face. For the first time in his life, his eyes filled with tears. As he watched the woman he had secretly admired choose another man, he finally understood. This wasn't curiosity. It wasn't fascination. He loved her. Yoonja looked down at the flowers in his hand, then back at Yuna. A painful smile touched his lips. I really love you. A few days passed, but Yoonji still couldn't stop watching Yuna. He quietly learned about her family, habits, favorite places, and daily routine, while secretly filling his camera with photographs of her. She had become the center of his world, the reason he looked forward to each day. Sometimes their paths crossed. Yuna barely noticed him, but Taejin did. He noticed how Yoonji's eyes followed her, and how he always seemed to be nearby. He said nothing, but someone else noticed too, Yoonji's cousin. He had always been jealous of Yoonji's growing success. Even at a young age, Yoonji had earned his father's trust, managed the college, and begun handling parts of the family business. Now, he had discovered Yoonji's weakness, Yuna. For the first time, his cousin realized that the powerful and controlled Yoonji finally had something to lose. And Yoonji didn't know it yet. His love for Yuna had just given his enemies the perfect weapon. It was almost the end of college. 3 to 4 years had passed, and Yuna and Taejin had become inseparable. Yoonjia had remained in the background, watching her from afar, unable to find a place in her world. Now, graduation was approaching, but the excitement had turned into uncertainty. Taejin, from a middle-class family, still hadn't found a job despite his parents' sacrifices. Yuna was worried too, as they often talked about building a stable future together. One evening, while Taejin was walking home after meeting Yuna, his phone suddenly rang. He glanced at the unfamiliar number before answering.
Hello? Is this Taejin? Yes, who is this? I have an opportunity for you. What kind of opportunity? A chance to build your career. A good position with the possibility of settling abroad.
Taejin stopped walking. His expression changed.
Abroad? Yes. If you're interested, come and meet me at my office. We can discuss everything there.
He gave Taejin an address. Taejin quickly saved it.
But why me? You'll understand when we meet.
The call ended. Taejin stared at his phone for a long moment. He had no idea who had arranged the offer, or why someone would suddenly want to help him. But the promise of a stable job abroad was difficult to ignore. He thought about his parents, their sacrifices, and the future he wanted with Yuna. Finally, he looked at the address again.
I'll go.
He decided to hear the man out. The next morning, Tae-jin arrived at the given address. The building was far more impressive than he had expected. At the reception, he gave his name.
Mr. Tae-jin, the CEO is expecting you. Please go in.
He entered the office and immediately recognized the man behind the desk. Min-jun. He knew him from college, one of the people involved in the college management, though they had never spoken personally. Min-jun gestured toward the chair.
Sit.
Once Tae-jin sat down, Min-jun got straight to the point.
You want to build your career abroad, correct?
Yes.
I can arrange that. A good position, with the possibility of settling there.
Tae-jin's eyes widened. But then Min-jun added,
I need something from you in return.
Tae-jin's expression became cautious.
What do you want?
One phone call.
To whom?
Min-jun gave him a location.
You will call Yuna from there. I'll tell you exactly what to say.
Tae-jin immediately frowned.
Why Yuna? Are you planning to hurt her?
No, I only want to threaten her.
Tae-jin stared at him.
But why her?
Min-jun leaned back, his expression turning colder.
Because of my brother. He's becoming obsessed with her. I want to warn her and her family to stay away before my brother gets to her.
Tae-jin immediately thought of Yoon-jae. He had seen the way Yoon-jae watched Yuna for years.
And you're sure she won't be harmed?
One warning, nothing more.
Tae-jin fell silent. He knew it wasn't right to threaten Yuna. But Min-jun wasn't asking him to hurt her. And this job could change everything. His career, his family's future, and his life with Yuna. After a long hesitation, he finally nodded.
Fine, I'll do it.
A faint smile appeared on Min-jun's face. Tae-jin didn't realize it yet, but the moment he accepted the deal, he had already stepped into a trap. Tae-jin called Yuna that evening.
Yuna, can you meet me tomorrow?
She immediately became curious.
Where?
He gave her the location Min-jun had provided. Then, after a brief hesitation, he added,
Bring your parents too. I want to talk about our future.
Yuna's face lit up. She had no idea what Tae-jin was planning, but the thought of meeting him with her parents made her heart race. For the first time in days, she felt excited about the future. The next evening, Yuna got ready and left with her parents for the cafe, excited to finally meet Tae-jin and discuss their future. At the same time, Tae-jin left home, nervous but hopeful that his life was finally about to change. Neither of them knew that everything was about to go terribly wrong. As Yuna's family's car approached a turn in the road, another vehicle suddenly appeared, a luxury car. It came from the opposite direction at terrifying speed. The next second, crash! The impact was horrific. Metal twisted, glass shattered across the road. The family car spun violently before coming to a stop. People nearby rushed toward the scene. Everything happened within seconds. And somewhere across the city, Tae-jin was sitting inside the cafe, waiting. He checked his phone. Nothing. He called Yuna. No answer. He tried again. Still nothing. His concern slowly turned into panic.
Why isn't she answering?
He called again and again. Nothing. Hours later, news of the accident reached Yoon-ji. The moment he heard Yuna's name, his entire expression changed.
What hospital?
His voice was dangerously calm. His men gave him the location. He immediately left. Within minutes, Yoonji arrived at the hospital. His eyes scanned the emergency ward frantically.
Where is she?
His men immediately began giving him updates. Yoonji's jaw tightened. The fear inside him quickly turned into something darker. His men understood immediately. Yuna had survived, but she was seriously injured. Her parents had died in the accident. For a moment, Yoonji stood completely still. His eyes turned cold. Then his men approached him with another piece of information. They had discovered the entire plan. Min-jun had arranged the meeting. He had used Tae-jin to get Yuna to that location. Yoonji's jaw tightened. His anger was no longer something he could hide.
Find Tae-jin.
His men immediately moved. Yoonji looked toward the emergency ward where Yuna was being treated. Then he lowered his voice, his eyes filled with fury.
What you wanted to do with her, now you'll have to face me, Min-jun, Tae-jin.
He stared toward the hospital room.
I'll make sure you both regret ever touching her life.
Tae-jin was still at the cafe, repeatedly calling Yuna, when several men suddenly appeared. Before he could understand what was happening, they surrounded him.
Who are you?
One of them grabbed him.
Wait, what are you doing?
He struggled, but they didn't answer. His phone slipped from his hand and hit the floor. The screen still showed Yuna's name. The call was unanswered. Within moments, Tae-jin was taken away, and while he was being dragged into the waiting vehicle, he had only one thought running through his mind. What happened to Yuna? He had no idea that the accident was only the beginning. And he certainly didn't know that Yoon-jae had just learned about the meeting that was supposed to happen that evening. Back in the present, Yoonji sat quietly on the sofa, a glass of whiskey resting in his hand. His thoughts were still trapped in the past. Then he noticed movement from the bed. Yuna shifted slightly in her sleep. His attention immediately turned toward her. He placed the glass aside and walked to the bed. For a moment, he simply watched her sleeping peacefully. Then he gently brushed his fingers across her cheek. His expression softened.
You will never know, baby girl. Let these memories be buried with me. I want to see you like this. Peaceful, safe, in my arms. Inside my golden cage, where no one can ever touch you. It was my fault back in college. I should have talked to you. I should have told you how I felt. But I didn't. And now, you're mine to protect. You can hate me when you remember everything. You can blame me for every secret I've buried. I already lost you once. I let you go into someone else's arms because I thought that was what would make you happy. But no one in this world can keep you safe the way I can. No one can protect you like me.
He looked at her for a long moment.
So this time, baby girl, I'm not letting you go.
And maybe some truths are better left buried. Some memories are too painful to remember. And some secrets are kept not because they are forgotten, but because knowing them could destroy everything. Yoon Ji-an knows what really happened. He knows the truth about Yuna's past, the truth about her parents, Tae-jin, and the memories she lost. But the question remains, will Yuna ever remember what happened to her? If you enjoyed this twisted story, subscribe for more dark and thrilling stories, because my next story begins on a rainy night. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.